Hello and welcome to another interesting episode of our series, Reflections, Stories to Recharge and Rejuvenate. And today I am very happy to welcome our guest speaker, Sona Bahri. Sona has been practicing and teaching meditation for the past 28 years, with teaching experience spanning across 23 countries. Trained as a professional translator and interpreter, Sona speaks 7 languages, which is commendable. Previously a BK Retreat Center coordinator in Australia, Sona currently holds the position of the Director of Inner Space Center in Abu Dhabi and has been teaching meditation both in the corporate environments and to individuals personally. And the story which Sona is going to share is titled The Canopy of Protection. And as we say, more than ever before, we all need protection, maybe from difficult people, from nature, from negative situations, or from our inner weaknesses. And how do we generate that safety for ourselves? Come, let's listen to a story of how good karma creates protection and allows us to stay light and carefree. Sounds like a very exciting and interesting story, Sona. So can't wait to hear from you. So a hearty welcome once again, and it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Lata. Really, that was a lovely introduction. And thank you for having me on this show. So hello, everyone. And this story actually has stayed with me for decades. So I have to wind my mind back to 1996, actually, when I was less than half of my current age. And I remember my husband and we were doing a little tour of Italy. We were very young and we just really needed to get that exposure in life. So we were traveling from city to city in Italy, and it was very beautiful, actually. And I remember we came to a place in a country area, and they were building a new retreat center there. So, of course, because a friend of mine owned the place, we were helping out a lot, and they were going to have a very big inauguration. And a senior meditation teacher from London was coming over to inaugurate. So, it was deadlines and race against time, and a lot of the work was manual. In fact, it was actually assembling IKEA furniture, which I've never done before. So yeah, here was me with a hammer and other sort of implements, trying to help the guys there to do some furniture assembly. Anyway, we finished all that, and we drove down to Rome, where we were staying, and we got asked to go and pick up this chief guest who was coming. Her name is Daddy Janki. Some of you might know her. So here I am, driving this tiny little Renault Clio to Rome airport, and there was no GPS those days. So we had written instructions on a piece of paper of how to get there, battling through Rome traffic, which is not great. I'm very, very, very nervous at the age of 25 on how we were going to go. But anyway, somehow my husband and I made it to the airport. And you won't believe it, all the way there, it was pelting down with rain. It was just one of those days, unexpected rain. And so we were so grateful we managed to actually arrive at the airport on time. And I rushed into the airport, I thought, right, finally got here, all going good. And when I reached the airport and I got out of the car, I realized how bad the rain was. I ran into the terminal building while my husband stayed with the car. And it only dawned on me as I was waiting for our guests to arrive that I'd forgotten to bring an umbrella. Well, to begin with, I didn't have an umbrella because I was a guest in the country and I hadn't seen any rain. I didn't even have a rain jacket or anything. So basically I got drenched and that's okay. I was happy with that. But I'm thinking, gosh, how thoughtless of me. I didn't come prepared. And here we are. We're receiving a very senior meditation teacher, a well-known a celebrity, and I don't even have an umbrella. So here's me worrying, getting very tense, very anxious. And I saw her appear and a big smile on my face, right, she's here. And she came out and greeted me. She was in a wheelchair. And I'm still thinking what to do. So we came to the door of the terminal building and I saw my husband's car. So through this torrential rain, I pointed at the car and I said, that's where we have to go. And she very sweetly got off the wheelchair and I'm behind her. Now, at this point, I'm panicking and I'm thinking, gosh, she has to walk from the car about 200 meters to the car. Sorry, she is at the terminal building, walking to the car, 200 meters. And how is she going to walk through this rain? She was wearing white, pristine, pure clothes, and she's only tiny. She didn't have a jacket on, no umbrella. And as she was about to step in the rain, you won't believe what happened. This young little Italian guy, just out of the blue, this little Italian brother, he just appeared from nowhere and he ran towards her with this massive umbrella. And not only her, but the lady who had come to her and this young boy, they all fitted under the umbrella. And he very graciously, very sweetly walked her to the car. And he held the umbrella over her head till she got in the car, the other lady got in the car. And I just watched this in absolute awe. I couldn't believe what was going on. So they both sat in the back. And of course, I dashed to the car, sat in the front so that I could help my husband to get back to the place where she needed to go and battle through the traffic. But when I got into the car, drenched, because I didn't have any umbrella boy with a big umbrella over me, when I got into the car, I just looked back and I said, Daddy, how on earth did that young boy know that you needed an umbrella? How on earth did all of that scene play out? You don't know how incredibly anxious I was and very concerned that you were going to get completely wet in the rain. And she just looked at me with this beautiful, soft smile. And she said to me, I live under God's canopy of protection. What's an umbrella? And somehow those words echo in my mind even today. And I really reflected on how that scene had played out. And I asked myself, what is it that I need to do, really, to be like her? To be a person who knows that I'm protected, no matter where I am, no matter what the situation is, what country, and whatever type of protection I really need. Because as we know these days, situations are quite unexpected. Weather patterns, are very unpredictable. People, can you predict people's behaviors and what they're going to say and do next and how they're going to react? I can't. So basically, I was quite touched by that scene. And the more I think about it, really, I feel that when I put out good energy into the universe, when I behave in a selfless way, when I give out good thoughts, words, and deeds, so what we would call good karma into the world, then good karma comes back to me. And the interesting thing is I've sort of realized that many times I've done good and it has come back to me in very unexpected ways. But more importantly, as life has gone on, I've realized that to do good for the sake of good, to serve people, to give altruistically, not needing a return from that person, from that situation, from that country, at that time, is a huge act of benevolence. Nevertheless, nothing that any of us do ever gets wasted. And I realized in Daddy's case, she had a bank account, in fact, a credit account that was huge. She had spent every moment of every day just helping others, serving others. And it wasn't just as a spiritual meditation teacher, that she did all the time. She was forever counseling people, forever listening to their stories, forever helping them get through all their difficulties. She was a yogi, so she was always putting out good energy through her mind, through her thoughts, and through her attitude. Those vibrations that go out. That was something that she did anyway. But then I thought back of how much she has helped me, even physically. I remember the days when she used to be there to serve food, to ask, have you eaten your food? And she wouldn't eat till all of us had said, yes, we've eaten, we're comfortable. She was there to make sure that whenever I visited her in London, I had enough bedding, I had transport and I had someone to take me wherever I needed to go. Even if it was for shopping or just sightseeing, she'd make sure that I was totally comfortable. And I realized how every little act of kindness that goes out there is going into my own bank account, my spiritual bank account. It goes in as a credit. And all that credit in my spiritual bank account never goes to waste. In fact, that credit becomes a huge canopy of protection. The credit kind of allows me to move through life now with a deep sense that if I've put my best foot forward, life or the universe or the divine or whatever you want to believe in, will come back and will actually help you, not possibly when you want, but when you need it the most. And I'm sure Daddy has held many umbrellas, so to speak, over many, many other people's heads, just when they needed it, just when the storm was about to hit their life, or perhaps they were actually going through a torrential storm, and she was there to support, to care, to lessen the blow, to make sure that whatever impact was happening at the time was actually being supported with wisdom and with a sense of you're not alone. And that's why I believe that at that very moment, when she needed help, it was almost like the divine, the universe, brought someone from left field to completely take care of her need at that time. And I realized that my karma created today may not come back to me in that same place. It may not come back to me with those same people. But somewhere, somehow, that canopy of protection that I carry with me will definitely leave me feeling that when I need it most, all will be well. And I think just to finish off, if there's anything that I've carried with me from that story, it is to do good whenever I can, wherever I can, with whoever I can. And it may not be the good that I was grown up with, that this is what is good and that is what is called bad. But however you can reach out and help people, sometimes just with a smile, even that is a huge act of support to the entire world. So let me take a little break there, pause, and maybe we can take a couple of questions. Lata, what do you think?
Yeah, that was such a beautiful and inspiring story. Or, I could feel the way you're describing. I was actually there in those moments. And I could see the torrential rain, and like sometimes as this show in fairy tales, like something comes out of nowhere. And yeah, and it's so inspiring, which you said, just keep doing good, like no matter what. And sometimes it may be little difficult, not if difficult is not the word, it may be you need a little more time to bring that into practice. So what, in your experience, how have you kind of tried to put that into practice? Do you have some thoughts that you think of that kind of puts you on track again? Or do you get reminded of that story and say, no, this is what I have to practice? Or any other tips or tricks that you want to share?
Yeah, sure. I think most human beings are good people. I'd have to say that my heart believes that today. I think, unfortunately, we also do have inner programming that sometimes gets the best of us and brings out a little bit of, yucky stuff. It's not the good stuff, the other stuff. And so when I feel myself, not really on track, not being very benevolent, not being very kind, then I am reminded of that story, but I'm also reminded that it's just not worth putting out bad energy now. It's not the time. And I do feel that whenever my mind sort of goes into a little bit of negativity, I quickly bring it back. Just realizing that everybody has moments in their life when they're not feeling okay. And that not okayness can bring up, some of the old programming that we have inside. But all of these phases pass. You may not be okay today, you'll be all right tomorrow. You may not be okay this whole week, but, at some point, people do have that realization. But what matters for me and what I need to do really is to continue to support. And it might even mean sometimes just being quiet, and not interfering, not putting myself in a position of being an advisor, but just gently holding that energy for them to sort themselves out, which is kind of like holding an umbrella over them, of just good wishes and good energy, good vibes. And so, yes, I guess for me, over the years, I try my very best to stay pointing north, always pointing towards being benevolent in my thoughts, words, and deeds.
As you said, sometimes maybe just listening can be an act of benevolence, if not helping, doing something or anything like that. Maybe someone just wants a ear. And have you had any experience like that? Like, did nothing much, but was just there for someone and they felt, oh, wow.
Yeah, I have actually. I've experienced it on the receiving end and the giving end. How, yes, when I've needed someone just to listen to me so that I can get something off my chest, and just feel lighter, then that person has been there. But I've also been on the end where, somebody just needs to talk things through and you're like a sounding board. And sometimes, people really just need to know that there's someone there for them. That's all. And so our company, the company that we give each other as friends, as human beings, and it might not be someone I know very well, but, you might see somebody not in a good state and just asking them, are you okay? Is everything all right? They might just cry and that's fine. But yeah, I think when we can just realize that we all need support sometimes, then that sense of we're all in this together, we're all in the same boat, really helps to create an atmosphere of support.
It's like holding umbrellas for each other and creating that beautiful vibe. Yeah, so yeah, thank you for sharing, the story and your wisdom. And as you have been practicing meditation for such a long time, I'm sure your meditation practice has come in handy, to bring this into your life. So could I request you to lead our viewers into a meditation experience via commentary, if that's okay?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much, Lata. So I would ask everyone who's listening to just relax. Wherever you're seated, relax into the chair and allow your entire body to let go of tension. Starting with your feet, just relax the muscles of your feet. And all the way up your legs. Relaxing every part. Feel the weight of your body on the chair. Now relax your stomach muscles, your back muscles. Check your breathing. Allow it to be very deep. And watch it slow down as you relax. And now relaxing your arms, your shoulders, and all the way down to your fingers. And finally, relax your face muscles. Gently turn within. And just feel yourself to be that inner being. The traveler through life. The one who goes through so many experiences. But also the one who has a choice in every moment and at every step along the way. And so in this moment, just pick up one thought. I am a being of goodness. My core is made up of very clean, pure energy. The energy of love, of benevolence, of acceptance. So I make this connection to that benevolent me and just send out vibrations of goodness into the world. To every human being who I know and even those I don't. Despite who they are, despite what they may have done in the past. Just goodness, just benevolence. And now bringing your energy back to where you are seated. Be aware of your breathing again, and just gently be aware of your surroundings and take a deep breath in. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Sona. It's such a good reminder that we are beings of goodness. Such a beautiful thought. So thank you once again for joining us and sharing your story and words of wisdom, and also taking us into this beautiful experience. We thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And for our online viewers, if you would like to know more, please do visit our website, which is www.brahmakumaris.org.au. You can have a look at all the events and programs listed, or you could visit our nearest center. So thank you once again for joining, and keep building the canopy of protection by doing good, being good. Thank you once again. Om Shanti.